Unless you're built like a fire extinguisher, you have probably heard about this new premium thing. And then of course the tech tree ones. So I decided it would be real funny if I grind the F18 with the F18. Except things get a little complicated, but we'll save that for later in the video. What you will want to know is whether this premium is good. And of course, how many times I managed to get crew lock. But first we need to make some presets. This one I like to call Heard You Like Bombs. But don't worry, there's much more where that came from. We've also got Too Bad So Sad, Can't Use Radar, Grinding Setup, Tornado, yeah, big things. I was ecstatic when I found a 15% RP boost in my storage, and I think you can tell. I'm going to start off with grinding the F18C late, but that probably won't last very long. First match here, and I've decided to go with a Too Bad So Sad preset. And then like 5 seconds later I realized I should probably be using the grinding one if I'm looking to be grinding, for obvious reasons. I still have absolutely no idea what I'm meant to do with the fact that these are yellow, but I guess we're about to find out. Yep, I destroyed that howitzer, and still no idea. Oh, and look, I'm about to get my first kill. The radar did a funny thing there, but I still got my RP, so that's good. Looks like I suddenly forgot to record the hanger after that clip. And if there's no footage of the crew lock, it never happened. Then my friend oof.com kindly reminded me that recycling was now a thing, and it involves gambling, so I think we all know what I did next. Decent boosters I guess, the rest was junk though. And they gave me back the best squad wages I just got rid of, come on man. If I included every single clip of me recycling, this video would be an hour long. So here's a cheeky little win. Then I did the sensible thing of activating every single booster at once on update day, playing 12.7, in a new plane, I have no idea how to fly, with full up tiers. That's the good stuff right there. All I have to do is get a single base, and I'll be rolling in cash. And don't worry, with such high stakes, I did actually pay attention for once, and flare when I needed to. The MiG-29 essentially can't do anything because I have countermeasures, and by countermeasures, I mean I have teammates flying near me. I do manage to get 2 bombs off, but turns out that it isn't enough for a base. I didn't know that. I thought that 2 napalms would be enough, but it turns out that it doesn't even. Back to gambling it is. Look guys, look! I got a real player kill, guys. Don't look at the kill feed. Look! I did it, guys. I've come to realize that this game is actually pretty simple. All I have to do is get a lock, fire a missile, watch as the missile literally does all the work, and then last second decides to turn the other way for absolutely no blooming reason whatsoever. Finally, a map that I kind of know how to play. Oh, it's an EC map, bro. In contrast to popular belief, I've actually gotten pretty good at notching radar missiles nowadays. You see those right there? They're coming from an F18, but I make sure to stay low, fly perpendicular, and the missiles explode right in front of me. It's awesome. Oh wait, that was an F16. I mean, look, let's be real. They're the same thing anyways. It doesn't matter. The point is that I'm now on a 6, and it's going to be quite easy to get the kill as long as I had to go on a little bit of a side quest here. Just don't question it. It's about time I did something useful in this game, but before that I have to show you something most peculiar. What is that? This was very confusing, almost as confusing as the fact that I'm currently in a race to hit 10k with Mumbo Jumbo, and we need to win. Otherwise Mumbo will take away your 10% RP booster privileges, so make sure to subscribe to help the cause. Apparently that A10 was a cheater, but I don't know man. Whatever I guess. I have more important things to worry about, such as sneaking up behind a load of what looks to be premium players and hope one of my AIM-9Ls hit. Clearly it was guaranteed from the start, so here's my first kill. The Mirage was a tad bit more difficult, but with some subtle persuasion, even 2 kilometers away you can fairly easily get some sort of damage, and damage means SL, and SL means more crates. You gotta have that investing mindset these days, and become a trillionaire by the age of 6 or whatever. Oh, and I guess I got another kill in the background, I don't know. Kind of popping off here, but a little too hard. You see, I forgot. As you noticed in that match there, I was starting to get a little better, and by better, I mean I was getting more down tiers. Moving on though, sometimes when I'm playing I'll think of a very funny joke, so I'll write a little note to myself because it's so funny. But this time, I stopped writing for whatever reason, and then couldn't open the chat thing back up, so I guess we'll never know what hilarious statement I came up with here. Now that we've got the shenanigans out of the way, it's time to clean up whatever mess my teammates left on the table. Some may say that this is a Super Tiger video, meaning the aim 7P won't hit. And, well, I mean, you'd be completely right in thinking so. But that's not to worry because I have plenty more where that came from. And now that the first missile missed, the Su-27 isn't going to expect a second one straight away. Okay man, whose idea was it to put tense music on this part? Right, finally some action. We go for guns and actually land something for once. And we're rewarded with severe damage, I guess. But then with my radar I spot our next victim. However, I get a little distracted and turn my focus away to instead get a lock on the AI MiG-15. Even though my RWR is clearly screaming at me that there's a MiG-29 right where I was looking. But all is good, it's just that the MiG-15 is more of a priority target in this case. So with that threat gone, I can shift my focus back to the MiG-29. But this time, I've got the upper hand. Looks like the MiG-29 is doing some funny business over there, so we'll just follow routine procedure. Fire multiple AIM-9Ls at his fireworks show, and then use guns because I can't aim missiles apparently. Then I'm back at it doing the ace combat thing again. As you can see, we got a fairly decent amount of RP, but now that the music is starting to get good, I'm gonna cut the clip abruptly so you don't get to enjoy the rest of the song. Flew in a formation with this guy, but eventually I left as I had more pressing matters to get to. And no, it was not that kill. If someone asks Cobra in chat and immediately says watch this, what do you think is about to happen? Place your bets and keep in mind that this guy is flying a premium Hornet, so I already know I'm going all in on red. I'm not going to do a funny cut here because I would like you to slowly watch it all unfold. Or did you really think that they were done? As we continue watching this clip, pay attention to the bottom right corner every now and then, as the number of crashes does keep trickling up. Although on second thought, it might be better if we don't watch the rest of this clip. Not because I get hit by an R-73, that would be silly. Rather because I get hit by an R-73. I guess it's just one of those days where I decide not to record the takeoff and immediately I get a missile flung at me by an enemy whose name is in blue for whatever reason. Don't worry though, I watched Defin's guide on how to play top tier and I made sure to wish this level 40 a very happy new year. It's times like this though that you gotta set everything aside and simply persevere. And I know it's hard, but you just have to keep playing War Thunder. And when you don't J out, you get rewarded with a nice little MiG-15 AI plane to start things off. Even with my very damaged plane, I refuse to go land because there is still plenty for me to feast on, such as this F18 who, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, probably hasn't realized yet that you can go into settings and set a keybind for dropping flares. It's all in good fun though, because after this kill, he'll understand and be sure to learn all there is about making keybinds. Now that I've had my fun, I do actually go land, so don't worry, my plane is in good health. That is, if you can argue that this is good for the plane. Finally using the Tornado Player Simulator in this match, and almost like an inspirational YouTube Shorts channel, a paid actor appears out of nowhere who is completely focused on our base, whilst being completely unfocused from my missile that is rapidly approaching. Time for some base bombing footage for those of you who find it satisfying. Whoops, I forgot to use my air brake on this one. Might have missed the base slightly, but should be good anyways. I'm sure you'll still find that one satisfying. And now I become the paid actor because I conveniently forget how to aim in order to make this 2v1 more interesting. There's not much for me to worry about because it's a premium F4J, and not only that, it's the British one. Comment down below if you still play Britain, even after that one video where I specifically said, who plays Britain anyways? I want to hear some proper good excuses this time. But anyways, I'm going to stop yapping because this 2v1 is starting to get interesting, as I've also missed an AIM-9L, which means I have to turn around once again. And since the F18 turns faster than a Phantom, plus the fact that he is now distracted, means a single AIM-7P will do the trick very nicely. I even got a thank you from our MiG-23 because I guess I saved him, so yeah, you're very welcome. I definitely realized I was saving you there and not just going for the RP. On that note, I'll just get another kill then. Very nice. So nice in fact that even Steam acknowledged it apparently. Remember earlier I said it might get confusing? Well, look at that, I've switched which Hornet I'm grinding. I literally could not decide on which one to grind, so I settled on the F18A because 12.7 does seem pretty fun. This match I'm just minding my own business, then I get an interesting lock over there way yonder. It can't have just randomly been there, so I go to investigate. After a minute, I make a very interesting discovery, and that is a pile of free kills appearing out of thin air. Here's our first volunteer. I shot the missile first, which means bye-bye to that guy, and on to our next volunteer. This time, however, I once again decided that this video could do with some more interesting engagement, so I of course miss and go back around to secure the kill. I knew there was a funny radar signature behind these mountains. I knew I wasn't schizophrenic. And on the topic of interesting comments I receive on this channel, let's have another look. And that concludes the showcase. A single comment from Frosty is worth 1,000 words, or at least I think that's how the saying goes. I still couldn't decide, so guess which Hornet I'm grinding now. That's right, the F105D.
Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай